producing electronic dance music since 1992, so I think that's... I actually missed my 20th celebration. I think I released my first track in 1992, yeah, it's a long time ago. So yeah, I've always been producing music. I never thought I would make a living out of it. My dad was really into the first electronic music. It wasn't called EDM or whatever back then, it was just synthesizer, experimental music. He listened to music from guys like Klaus Schulze, Guitaro, Jean-Michel Jarre, you know, in the 70s, and it was really obscure. I remember seeing the cover of Switched on Bach from Walter Carlos, which is widely regarded as the first electronic record. It was a piece by Bach recorded by a synthesizer, with a synthesizer. And I still find that very inspiring.
Good evening, TomorrowWorld. How you feeling? And we all know what happened, so especially from all those people who couldn't be here, our family who couldn't be here.
We human beings have a tendency to put things in boxes. You know, we'd like to know if there's peanut butter in a jar of peanut butter. We put peanut butter on it so we can find it. But with music, it's almost like it's supposed to be not in a jar. It's supposed to be outside the jar. It's supposed to be different. So styles are always mixing and merging. I think the Beatles are always the best example. If you listen to the first Beatles album and the last Beatles album, the difference sonically, melodically, musically, how they, you know, everything. The idea behind Embrace is to embrace new sounds. So if you look at the album cover, you see the instruments laying on top of the car. And all these instruments are actually used in the record. So, for example, the opening track, Embrace, features a jazz trumpet player. It comes from the word jazz. He's not into dance music at all. Erik Vloeimans is one of the best trumpet players in the world, I think. He's able to make his trumpet sound like a flute, and you won't even believe it. Listen to the track. And so, yeah, on Embrace, there's a lot of experimenting with stuff outside my comfort zone to try to embrace that sound into my sounds. The way I look at music, this is what I came to understand, is that in the creative process, you can choose to be very strict about your boundaries and say, okay, I want a trance track, it has to be 138 BPM, it has to be in the key of G, you know, the breakdown has to be 2 minutes, there has to be a big drop, you know, and that is limiting. I found that limiting because I've done that so many times and I love it and I will still do it. I will always keep making those tracks. In fact, I just did one with Jean-Michel Jarre. As a producer, as a music lover, I want to challenge myself. I want to have fun in the studio. So what I did with Embrace was to sort of let go of those safe boundaries and safe things that you know. It's so cool to work with people that have a completely different view on how to make music, and you can learn so much from that. After making music for more than 20 years, I only just discovered how little I actually know about, you know, producing, making records, melodies, you know, everything. So I learned in the process of making the album, I learned a lot. And the only thing that I did is I set up the collaboration. Some of them worked out, some of them didn't. I sat in the studio and then you just go, you sit together in the studio, you vibe with somebody, and out comes a track. And it's my character, but it's also the character of the person, and it's sort of, I love that. That's probably one of the most exciting things about my job, is just to sit with somebody in the studio, go into somebody's head, and okay, so how do you feel about that? Okay, so how would you approach that? Or I would do this. Oh, if you play that chord, maybe you can, you know, do that chord after. Oh, that's interesting. You know, so you can learn so much from that. And if you embrace that, if you're open to that, then the beauty can happen. Oh, you can judge if it's beautiful, but I think I'm proud of the result. So, hey, what's up? This is Armin van Buuren. You're watching Music Festival Central.